Christian.
Cristian over
There's
here.
Christian, and then there's two Nicks. So we got double trouble up in this hoe. All right. So who would want to start the first argument off?
I would like to.
Okay. Christian,
Okay,
you go ahead and go
so
first.
so you understand churches, correct?
Yeah, of course.
Churches of Christ. So, did you know that they are completely tax exempt?
Because of the separate state
Because
of
because the
church and state.
separation of church and state, right?
Mhm.
But I ponder towards you. Why is this? Why is this so? How do you?
Freedom of religion.
How do
Why
you?
should we tax religion? You're basing
How
out
would
your
you?
argument off of personal experience and how you have rich old white people basing their tax exemptions on church that's
I'm
small
not
and
simply
big churches.
talking about regular mom and pop churches. I'm talking about
What are mom and pop churches? I'm gonna need a
like
description of
the
that, please. Are you
like your everyday
non-mega churches?
non-mega church is what I'm talking about.
What did you just tax like mega churches? Because there's no way. Because mega churches, guys, let's just be honest here, they're total assholes. Without a
Yeah, the
doubt.
entire.
They still teach the word of the Lord in a sense.
Okay, you're gonna say like Joel Osteen is a good guy, all right? Because you know he likes to.
Those words never came out of my mouth.
Exactly.
You said, but you said that he still teaches
Okay,
the
so
word.
then let's start taxing
means you're
public
still-
schools for teaching. Let's start
Public
taxing
schools are funded by the government. How are
Not
you gonna?
private
How?
schools.
So what? Are we just taxing the government now? The government that taxes people is taxing themselves.
Not private schools.
So you want to tax private schools? Because I mean I don't see a problem in that, to be honest.
Well, we haven't even finished our first debate here, so you're just going on.
It's still within the same.
The boundaries.
Yeah,
Correct.
because I bring it up. It's not referencing
I retract my response.
statement. Okay.
I
But why
just
should we tax? Why should we
best-
tax something that can educate the people of America?
because it's not
Well-
educating them in stuff that they need to know. It's not teaching them how to be a doctor. It's teaching them how to get to
How to have good
heaven.
morals.
Fucking religion is stupid.
Okay, Nick, would you like to
Agreed.
put your input in?
It's religion's fucking retarded. It shouldn't be a thing.
You see, the thing with the religion is that like everything on the human experience, it is a spectrum. There isn't really any way to narrow one big problem down.
Well,
So
all
I propose
religions have generally the exact same thing, with just small things changed.
So I propose to you.
No, there's different
Why
ways
is
of
it-
worship.
Why is there people basing their entire profits on teaching the word?
Because they're stupid.
Because
Why
they don't.
not?
Because it's a way to get more funds for their churches.
Well, I also propose to you. Why are they making this their sole income?
Because
Why not make more? Why not make more for themselves rather than taking money from the church?
Not every not every pastor's sole income is the church. There's a church group called the Avenue Church, right?
okay,
Right.
do you go there?
Yes, currently. But anyways, so if you look up Avenue Church, there's multiple different Avenue churches, right? It's like
Okay.
a big brand. And I'm the friend of a PK, which is a pastor's kid. The pastor, he has two separate jobs besides being a pastor, because simply it does not make enough. You know, this Avenue Church is like a small mom and pop thing. There's only about 150 Avenue churches worldwide.
Okay. So I'm currently looking at it, and it looks, to be honest, very small.
It is super small. Like like I'm being serious. Our church is a K7 go-kart track. Like we're being serious. And if you
Alright.
remember Camden from last podcast, he works there.
Does he get paid to work at a church, or does he work, or does he volunteer?
No, he works at the go-kart track.
Oh.
Now I volunteer there.
And
Really fun.
what do you do volunteering at the church?
I help children. Like with me being in me wanting to go into education field.
You want to go into an education field, a field that we were just talking about has zero money?
Yes, because I'm not doing it for the money. Like we can all admit here that we have those type of teachers that don't care about what they do. They just do it for according to them, the money. But what it really takes for actual teacher, is the passion for it. And let's all admit, we all had that one teacher that actually wanted to teach. And
So you're saying that any teacher that doesn't have a passion to teach is just doing it for money?
you gotta have a passion to be a teacher. Like, you don't understand how difficult and how misunderstood that field of how much the field of education is.
Who the hell is watching
misunderstood.
Bob's Burgers in the background?
Okay,
I'm sorry.
you gotta, so, to get something clear, do you wanna go, okay, so, churches, I personally think, need to be taxed.
Because you're a libertarian.
There's no doubt about it, and the Libertarian Party,
I'm just saying what your belief is.
the Libertarian Party says that we want to make you pay less taxes by taking funds out of stuff that we don't need. It's not taxing more things. This isn't coming from my political standpoint, it's coming from my political belief. Just because I'm a libertarian doesn't mean that I believe that everyone should be taxed. I'm saying that in a political standpoint, it's the smartest thing for the church to be taxed, because taxes being churches, and taxes go towards valuable things. They go towards, like, roads, and we've mentioned this before, roads, schools, stuff like that. So, public schools at that. So, and, yeah, infrastructure, and Biden just passed the infrastructure bill, I believe. Or it's still in the works
So
of
if
being
we
passed.
somehow got him to start taxing churches, would that be adequate to solve a lot of the problems that we have currently?
Has there been anything done like this in the past with other countries?
Well, many countries don't have the religious freedom that we have.
Yeah, but then when they still tax the church,
Wouldn't it be strange to have like?
But look at it like this:
so we're basically paying people so we're charging people for worshiping their religion or
and
participating in their religion. What happened to freedom of religion, our First Amendment right?
we're not taking away it. We're not telling you freedom of religion. Freedom of religion is you can believe and whatever you want. It's not that we're not charging you. I'm sorry for the misconception, but
It's a misconception, but my question is, so we're still going to charge people for doing what their First Amendment right is?
yes.
So are we going to start charging people to speak now?
Yes.
Where is this coming from? I feel like you're not understanding the point. There's 7 of us here. Or there's 6 of us, alright? I invite one more person to come to this podcast, and I can start a religion. And then I no longer have to pay taxes. I just I got a place of worship.
It has to be approved.
I got a place of, it doesn't matter if it's approved. I can get it approved because there's more people that are believing in it, and you can get more people believing in it. And then just like that, I don't pay taxes. Like the guy we mentioned the other day that lives in New Zealand, who I think it's called spaghettiism, who wanted to wear a spaghetti strainer on his head. He wanted to wear a spaghetti strainer on his head for his
I'm
pictures,
not
for
gonna
his
do
driver's
that.
license picture. So he created his own religion so he could. Just so he can wear a spaghetti strainer.
And he
So,
and he did. He somehow bypassed the
I've lied.
laws to make sure that he could do what he wants. So
so basically, if we follow under the freedom of religion, or the freedom of religion that you think is the thing, then basically everyone in the state doesn't have to pay taxes.
technically,
If we,
if
we
you
all
could
created
call it a-
religions, we could
You
all
don't have
say
to pay
we're the
taxes
leader.
on business, on that business. You have to pay taxes with other things.
We
You have to
we
pay
could
income
all
tax.
say that we're, we could all live together like a cult, and we could say that that's our religion and not have to pay taxes on this $1 million mansion that we have.
Oh,
And
hell
that's
yeah.
where we could get the
but then
biggest
when we
building.
purchase,
We can get the biggest building of all of Houston, the biggest, the tallest, the best building, and use it for our religion and not have to pay 1 cent of taxes on it. Just like Joel Osteen does. That is why I'm trying to get past that we need to make people pay taxes. Our mega churches like the one Joel Osteen has are just going to keep taking over. And how it's an injustice how normal people pay taxes, but men like him find the way out of it.
you could if you technically really
what do you
wanted-
mean by men like him?
Men like him, as in those mega church priest owners. Those priest mega church owners, or whatever you want to call them. Those
So
asshats.
I just want to get this straight. Are you saying all people that want to expand their church and the Word of God are all asshats?
Well, if
Yes.
you want to,
No.
if you use your followers just not to pay taxes, yes, you are.
But
Just
what about
like
those
mega
who
church
really
owners.
want to teach the Word of God?
if
Okay.
you
How
you
bad
see,
is
the
it to pay
problem-
taxes just once a year, every year?
It's
The
twice.
problem with these churches is that they go unchecked for too long, and nobody ever figures out that, hey, these people are trying to dodge taxes. Why don't we tax them? Because they have to be like every other person
Yeah,
in the
the
world.
IRS doesn't look at churches.
They don't even
But
bother
they'll
at
audit-
some point.
They won't audit someone with millions of dollars, but they'll audit a single mother.
A person who
can't pay the
doesn't have
bills.
any money. No. For bills that nobody could pay.
It isn't fair. The system isn't fair and it doesn't work. That's why it needs to be changed, Nick.
But doesn't exempting churches from taxation upholds the separation of church and state?
Well,
Okay.
Established in
yeah.
the first.
But that
establishment
doesn't.
in the clause of the First Amendment.
Okay, but that isn't gonna. And that's what I'm trying to get past, though, is you can change the Constitution.
which is not good usually, but it could be used for good.
This is coming from the Walls versus Tax Commission in the City of New York. Decided on May 4th, 1970. The exemption creates only a minimal and remote involvement between church and state, and far less than taxation of churches. It restricts the official relationship between church and state and tends to complement and reinforce the desired separation, insulting each from the other.
And what is it saying there?
It's basically saying that, when we're not taxing the churches, it's establishing the exemption of the separation from church and state.
So you're a firm believer in how churches should not be taxed.
Yes, they shouldn't be.
But I still not understanding your reasoning why they should not be taxed. Is it
Because
just
it would
because they're a place
endanger
of
the
worship?
free expression of
It
religion.
would not endanger the freedom of religion. The freedom to worship any religion, the freedom of expression. It wouldn't do anything. The people already pay. Every time that you put a A dollar in collection, you pay.
The power to tax involves the power to destroy, Christian.
Then I
Well,
guess we're
I would.
destroying America itself. Then what's the point of just destroying a little bit more?
But isn't this the great country, like you said, the home of the free and home of the brave?
Yes,
Correct,
and
No
your
one
point
is brave here.
So why,
That's the only
why should we
point. No
continue
one's
destroying
brave.
our economy?
we're not
So why
destroying
should
our
we
economy. We're improving it with better taxes.
But didn't you just say that we're killing, or I'm sorry, destroying America, and we just continue to destroy even more?
If I may butt in here,
Go ahead.
the the problem isn't really with the tax. It's I'm going to agree with both of you that they should be taxed, but not as so much to cause influence within the church community, because
But churches
Because-
offer numerous social services to the people in need, including soup kitchens, homeless shelters, after-school programs for poor families,
The government
assistance to
also
victims
offers
of
that.
domestic violence. But the churches do so much more. These efforts,
I'd like to see the
by their
proof where it
government
does
of-
way much more than the
doing-
government does.
well, I've
it's
been
free.
to
It's
many.
free services, while the government has to pay people to do this.
So you're saying people are just donating their time out of their day?
Yeah, and the will of what they believe in.
Okay. They should be taxed. There's no doubt about it. Whether
But
it's a
then
small
taxing
tax,
churches would place government above religion. You know, going against why we established this country in the first place.
okay. Do you know what the president of the United States is called?
The president.
He's called the people's president. The people are above the president. So, the people themselves of this country can make things happen. We put the president in office. We take votes on what we should do. He makes decisions for us.
But no, we
He or
don't.
she-
We elect people that do that. We elect people. We have no say in this.
we do have say in it.
Last time I checked, Texas is not a swing state.
If I may, I think that
Last
we're
time I checked, we were talking about the federal government and not just Texas.
that we're not really going to reach a verdict on this specific query that we're asking here. And it's quite strange that we won't, because in fact we never will, because the fact is that this separation of church and state is only a concept. If we ever did want to, we could just ignore it if we really felt like it. Those are the things that are keeping the world together. These concepts, these strange.
Well, then you're just creating a tax burden for small mom and pop churches, like
You
you
keep
said.
mentioning that, but I don't see any proof of what paying just a little lump sum of money can do to a church.
Okay, I got your
Because-
proof right here. A
because
2010
every
survey by the Hartford Institute for Religion and Research found congregations facing financial strain more than doubled to almost 20% in the past decade, with 5% of the congregations unlikely to recover. If these churches were obligated to pay taxes, their existence would be threatened by the government, thus impeding on religious expression. And the source for that one is the Hartford survey.
Okay. But you're also passing up the thing that every time that you give money and you put it in that little pan looking thing that they pass around,
A donation.
you pay the church. In that box, every
It's a
Sunday,
donation.
every
It's a
Sunday,
donation. You're
is
not
probably
obligated to pay that.
$1,000 to $2,000.
But you're
That's
not
a-
obligated to.
That's every week. that's making more money than some people do in a week. You're
You
making
know,
that
they
in a
only
day.
you know how, according to the NACBA, which is the National Association of Church and Business Administration, the average American pastor only makes $28,000 a year. That's if they're like Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen makes a lot more money than that, and you cannot say he doesn't. He makes
Okay, my bad. I did not read further. Well, the 5% of the pastors earn more than $50,000 a year. But
Joel
then
Osteen makes a
get
lot more than
their
that.
tax.
He has 4 Ferraris and a mega mansion, along with his mega church that he doesn't pay one bit of
What else
taxes
does
on.
he do?
He
What
treats
else
people
does he
like
do?
shit for no reason, and claims that he's a good pastor. He
What else
earns
does he
money
do? There.
from his TV show that he got from being a pastor. He's a sellout.
Yeah, he pays taxes on that. He pays taxes on that show. No matter what, you have to pay taxes on that show because then
The
at that
network
point,
pays
it's not
it.
becoming non-profitable. The network pays it, which he has to pay the network to continue to film.
No.
Yes.
He alone
Yes.
is a horrible person and gives all pastors bad names. And that's why people like him and other pastors deserve to pay taxes.
Usually,
So
usually
you're
they
letting
don't.
one bad person influence the rest?
There's multiple people.
Well, what I would suggest doing is doing your final words on this subject, because
I say we take a
this has
vote
just
to
been
see where we are on this subject, and
this has
No,
just
actually,
been
I want to add one thing. One thing
Okay.
before we.
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Joel Osteen has also helped Hurricane Harvey victims. Just think about that. We all been affected by
One good
Hurricane
thing.
Harvey here.
people
I
of
haven't-
Houston helped Hurricane Harvey people who didn't have to help did. Just because he did something. Just
you just
because he did
accused
something doesn't
him of
mean.
being an asshat. Correct.
Okay, you ever heard of publicity? You ever heard that
He's
if
still
you do
done it.
nice things, it looks better for people? He's a pastor of a
Still
mega
done it.
church.
Okay. I think that we should say our final words, do a vote, and then. move on to the
Alright,
next
so
part.
everybody, what's the final vote? Let's take the vote here. How many people think that churches should be taxed? Me personally, I say aye.
You
Okay.
can't vote.
Okay. So. Say aye. Say aye if you agree. Nay if you don't.
You're the vote, Christian. You have to decide for us.
Oh, I thought there were more. Since there were more people, you could probably. Never mind.
Nick, do you have the opinion?
Man, what?
Do you
what-
have your vote on whether churches should be taxed? Say aye if
I
they should be
genuinely
taxed.
don't
Say
give a
nay if they
shit.
shouldn't.
One thing, I
Christian,
genuinely do not give a shit.
What about you, Christian?
Well, I believe that churches should get taxed.
Okay. Alright, moving on to the next one. Nick, you're up.
Which one?
Which one?
For the for your topic.
Which Nick?
Oh, sorry. The Nick Salceda.
Okay. Do
Shall
you
we
think
move on?
that Britain should have left the European Union?
That went a different direction than I thought it would.
That doesn't really affect us.
Yeah,
So you
I don't
can't
think that
really-
affects
Well,
us.
I mean, let's discuss this anyways. I think it's a pretty good debate topic.
Should
It
have
is a pretty-
Britain
Fucking-
should
genuinely,
Britain
I
have
just-
left
I
the
hate the
European
British people.
Union?
They're all
Or
dicks.
do y'all want to go into more something that?
More American centric, since. I
Well, let's
believe
go
that's-
into teenage. Let's go into teenage things.
Okay.
Do y'all is peer pressure a good or a bad thing?
Bad thing? What
It's
the
a
hell
horrible
are you fucking
thing.
on?
Yeah, come on.
What the fuck are you
Okay,
on?
that's a pretty bad topic.
What
Do you
are
remember
you
the topic we
on?
talked about earlier?
Actually, this one's a really controversial one. Prostitution, should it be legal?
Yes.
What? No!
Yes.
Come
Yes.
on, guys.
I'm with Christian on this one. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to say no.
let's talk about
Bro.
this, all right?
You
Let's talk about
why can't
this.
you be a pimp, bro? Why can't you slap bitches around?
Sex work leads to
Okay.
more STDs.
Then
Okay,
get
so while I
get checked
agree
every
with
hour.
while
I
I
don't give a
agree
shit.
with
Wear a
If
condom.
you make it your primary job, then that is your primary job. You can't just switch jobs left and right. All right,
Why-
you can't just go from
Yeah.
You can't go from being a businessman to being a sailor.
You know, may I also mention that prostitution is a very dangerous job.
if I may,
There's a lot of serial killers out there. Yes, go ahead.
there's
Yeah, true.
well, yes, there is job hazards as I would like to put them. There's also great benefit for the single person and the country
Mm-hmm.
because legalized it could assist us in getting more money and getting more money into getting more taxes. Yes, and if we could also regulate this certain action. If
And
you-
we also need to focus though on more free STD tests.
Okay, first,
Yes.
no, I got it.
Wear
I
a
got a little
condom.
argument for this.
Wear a condom, bro.
Okay, firstly, prostitution is one of the most dangerous professions in the country. It's worse than Alaskan fishermen or loggers, even oil rig workers. According to most recent statistics, the death rate for prostitutes in the U.S. is 204 out of 100,000. For fishermen, it is 129 out of every 100. For loggers, it is 30 out of every 100,000. And for logger, hold up, I'm sorry, I need my glasses. I can't read.
Take your time.
It is 90 for the loggers, I believe. I'm sorry, I can't read. And also the average prostitute gets physically, non-lethally, sometimes lethally attacked approximately once a month. And law enforcement, what happens if you come in and be like, I was abused while doing sex work in Texas? You
That's
are
why I
arrested for
say-
prostitution.
that is
You
why
understand not all of us live in Texas.
Yes, you keep
My bad,
focusing
man.
on Texas. We need to we're focusing on a federal level, not only Texas.
Okay.
You see, if I may, this is why I suggest regulating it, because this is quite like a drug, if I may.
This prostitution is a drug. You please go
So,
into
okay, so you're saying
Because
is a drug.
if you regulate it, you could keep control. You could keep it safe.
Can you
And
though?
no. Like
our money's
like
regulated,
I
but
keep on bringing
look
this
where we're
up.
at now.
I keep on bringing this up every time I get here. The prohibition, right?
Okay.
You know how bad it got because it was outlawed.
Prostitution is not illegal in every state. Nevada, but
This
they
is
really
why
do
I-
have they do have a really high sexual assault.
Exactly.
Crime
That's
rate.
why I say. That's why I
Even
say
where prostitution
fucking
is legal.
regulate it.
Even where prostitution is legal. So you're saying basically, okay, I want to get this straight. After I just said that they have a very high sexual assault, like a crime rate, even when prostitution is legal, you're basically saying it's okay for those women or even men to get raped.
No, I'm saying it would be covered, dude. I'm not saying that it would be okay for this shit to happen. I'm just saying
So
that
as long as those men and women who are sexually assaulted know that it's covered, it's all right.
just as long as they know that's why
No,
I'm
rape as in itself is not right.
That's why I'm a welder. Cause I knew the damages. I knew that it would hurt me physically. Why else would I do
But
it?
it's the job of prostitution is disgusting.
Well, this goes into ethical nonsense. So I would rather not go
We're
into
not
the
talking
ethical part of it.
ethically here. We're talking generally. It's a job
And, you know,
that. No,
firstly,
I'm
it
not
would
talking
cost.
disgusting. I'm talking disgusting as in bacteria and germs and
Oh, okay.
sicknesses. Not disgusting as in
Okay.
you suck for being a prostitute. Nothing like that.
Well, you should have specified that before saying that, because now I understand. Okay, so now I get it. Well,
Like I said, we need to focus
also
more. If we're going to regulate it, like you keep saying, we have to focus more on STD testing or STI testing rather than anything else.
that's why. That's why it. While I agree that it's not good, I know that it could be at least a little bit safer. I because because
Yeah,
not
actually, I'm starting to switch sides. Regulating it would seem, but only regulation with more
that's
STI and STD testing. That would be the only way
yes.
that I think it could
But
ever pass.
that would be costing people way too much as is. I mean,
So
there are millions of
okay. So
prostitutes out there.
what I'm hearing right now is like that that you're you're putting money over people's safety.
You're
Money is
putting
people's
economic
safety.
interest over human
Economic
health.
interest is human rights and it's human health. Without an economic interest, without any economic, there is no such thing as safety or health.
There is.
Such as Cuba. It could be something so much more, but yet
Cuba
look
also
at
had a dictator named Fidel Castro who drove the country into a depression and it
Jordan,
had the worst
the country of
economic
Jordan,
downturn.
the country of Jordan.
Your
They-
point
you
is
have-
They have so much health, but zero economic. And I did the health in air quotes because almost everyone that lives there is poor. The poverty rate is 97% over there. It's like 97.5,
okay.
and that was according to the Washington Post 6 days ago.
All right, so I don't know. I don't know what to think.
It's a really topsy-turvy topic because it could either be really bad or it could be kind of bad. There isn't really one way to solve this.
But if you
No,
look into a more futuristic approach, like look into the future, all right?
It may
Would
seem
it be
good
good?
now, but
Would it
it
be
would
good
be
10
bad
years down the line?
No. It would cause more tax money, and Christian, like you said, single mothers, right? They're still struggling to pay taxes, even with them working 3 or plus jobs.
See, now you're tugging at my political heartstrings.
And I think that if anything, if we need to we shouldn't even legalize it.
All right, so
Okay, so let me change my stance on this.
yeah, I gotta.
Make it not a criminal offense if somebody needs assistance. I'm not saying legalize it. I'm saying that people won't be turned away for being that.
Normalize it, you're saying.
No. God no, I'm not saying normalize it. I'm saying
You have a problem with it?
No.
Then why don't you want it normalized?
Because the people who use prostitutes are usually people who you don't want to normalize, and it sort of comes with it.
There's married men that need it because their wife can't provide.
They
their
don't need
sexual
it.
needs.
They're just.
They don't need it, they want it. You don't need sex, you want it.
Yeah, you don't need
You need
sex.
food and water. You don't need to dip your penis in things. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this.
I would like to say that you may need it, but there's no way that you would ever need something like that.
Yeah, so I think we all agree that we don't need it, but it shouldn't be criminal to do it.
Yeah. Alright, and
So
going
in
in,
like-
other words,
after
legalize
this
it.
vote, we're going to go into the last topic, and I'm pretty sure this is the most interesting topic, just in my opinion. But...
Yes, let's go into it.
So let's get the vote done. Normalize it? Not normalize it. Yay or nay? Should prostitution be legal?
Nah.
Nay.
Nah. Alright, seems like we all got a...
So how did I change? So how did I go from, to being with someone and being by myself to y'all? Man, I just love this. I just love this podcast.
Alright,
Influenced
so
many people.
we're gonna move on to the last topic, and it is my topic. Alright, so this is a nice little debate that I've been thinking about for a while, gents. Is it possible that secret government agencies are people like the Illuminati exist?
So
Yeah, I
could
really
you
don't
put that in a yes or no format?
Do you think what are they called? Like the Illuminati, what is that called?
Secret organization.
Do you think
Freemasons?
do you think secret organizations like the Illuminati and the Freemasons exist?
I think there could be a chance.
Could you turn it down?
What do you
There's
think?
always a chance.
So you said that there's always a chance? In my opinion,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't know, and I would like to know, but I'm not an Illuminati or Freemason here.
my opinion is probably a flat. It's a yes, but also it's a no, because I don't believe there's someone running our government, but our political officials and with the help of the Secret Service. That's it, and the CIA and the FBI. That's it. That's our government. But I believe that there are secret organizations out there that are secret and do stuff that are secret, but more of religious purposes, are sacrificial rather than...
Well, yes. But there is a very large possibility that something is happening behind the scenes that we can't really focus on.
But
I
it's
mean,
like,
I'm
do
a
you believe...
free KK type guy, but
Do you believe that you can sell your soul to Satan, for instance?
No.
I don't know.
Yes.
To be honest.
See, I
Not
believe you
religious, so
can.
no.
As a Satanist, I believe you can.
A Satanist leftist. Why does that sound so familiar?
Sounds like a joke somewhere. So,
Cristian,
hey, we're all mad in here, all right? So, I personally believe you can, but I believe that it's harder than most people think it is.
Well, I think it's like a long. I think it like if I do, like it has to be like some long ass shit. Like it has to be so fucking difficult.
Well, you could sell yourself for anything, and it's instantly done.
So I could sell my soul for billions of trillions of dollars.
Yes, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm tempted.
Kind of. You could sell your soul for something easier, like fame, so you earn all that money. Satan just isn't like, hey, take all this fucking money, enjoy it, man. I'll see you later. I'll see you in the fire pit,
Hell.
bitch. He's not like that. It's nothing. It's nothing like that. It's more of like it's like, I can make you famous. You can earn all that money, but then I get your soul. That's what it is. So it's, if you believe that you sell your soul to Satan, stuff like that, then it's of course like a yes. then
It's a religious question.
and I believe that, like, that's what I'm saying, is I believe that those secret services, the secret organizations, whatever, are more of, like, Satanist organizations, because people that are Satanists aren't out there. They're not like, oh yeah, I'm a Satanist, because it's mainly a Christian country. And what Christians are okay with a Satanist, let's be honest.
At least one.
So, I believe that they're secret for certain reasons, because their religion is way, 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 way different than ours. Like sacrifice kind of stuff. And that's why they become such a shadow organization, is because when people do see these organizations doing stuff like that, they're like, oh my god, that's so crazy, when to the organization it's normal. Like, for instance, let's say that they kill a goat. Alright? To everyone else, that's weird. Don't slit a goat's throat just for no reason. That's creepy. But to them, it's normal. It's something that their religion requires them to do. I believe they're secret for a reason. Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say, though? So,
Is that it?
yeah, that's it. I guess we can end the podcast here if anyone else has nothing to say.
Speak now, forever hold your peace.
I got nothing else to say.
Alright, thank you for watching our podcast. This has been Gamer Talk. I've actually enjoyed having this podcast. Please remember to like and subscribe, and